Hi guys, welcome back to another accent trigger video today, which I'm really excited to do for you all. So I have done a couple of these before and you guys seem to really like them, so we are back. Today I've got quite a few different accents from the States this time. I've tried to, go into different actual areas. We also have Canada, which we've not had before. We've got 3 different accents in Scotland, a few from England, we've got Northern Irish, and also some European accents as well for you. So the idea of this is like a normal trigger video. This one is just with accents because different accents can make you feel the tingles. So I'm going to do them all for you, and I want you guys to let me know what accents you find the most tingliest, what accents you find the most tingliest, what accents you don't like at all. And if you're obviously from that region, you're more than welcome to comment some insight into that accent in the comments for our viewers today. So sit back, enjoy, and let's do this. Now we're going to head over to Northern Ireland. I love the Northern Irish accent. I think it's one of the nicest accents that you can do. It varies quite different between regions in Northern Ireland. I'm doing quite a soft Belfast sort of accent, I would have said. They've got lots of nice slang, like a dead on, or laddie, don't you begin wide with me now. One of the programs that I've been watching lately is Line of Duty, and the main guy in the Line of Duty is from Northern Ireland, and I just love listening to the way that he speaks. It's great. So it's not as strong as the Irish accent on the other hand, but it's more of a gentle, I would have said a sing-song accent. I think they have that sort of up and down in the north, as opposed to I think Irish in the Southern Ireland, Irish is a lot stronger than in the north. I think it's a lot harsher, whereas it's really quite nice and soft and sing-song. I think it works really, really well for ASMR. So I can't remember off the top of my head any Northern Irish ASMR artists, but if you can remember, then please let me know. I would love to listen to some. I don't think I found any, but yeah, I think it's a great accent. I love practicing it when I can. It's probably quite easy to do as a Scot because it's not too dissimilar from the Scottish accent, especially if you're down in the southern west coast of Scotland, down in Stranraer or other places nearby, Girvan maybe, because the ferries go across from Scotland to Belfast, so their accents sort of a little bit with the Northern Irish and Scottish. So again, their accents are lovely. We might also do another one for you today. But yeah, so this is the Northern Irish accent. So the Glaswegian accent is one that probably a lot of you are really familiar with, especially if you watch any of my very Scottish videos. It's a pretty strong accent, I would have said. We roll our R's a lot. We use quite a lot of slang. We can sort of miss a lot of, letters, the way when we speak. Like water instead of water. Water. Where's the water? We do have quite a lot of slang that we like to say. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head. I'm not doing that well. My heat. There's one. Heat. Rather than head. What you up to? What you doing? That's probably we use probably quite a lot of inappropriate slang words actually, now that I think about it. About instead of about it. who's really good for that? A Scottish Blueberry ASMR. She's got a really, really strong accent, which is quite funny because she's got more of a kind of, I don't know. There's another one for you. Is I instead of yes. We say I quite a lot. I've definitely heard this accent. It's probably the main accent in Train Spotting, if you've ever seen that movie. It's quite a few actors and actresses that are from Scotland or Glasgow, instead of from. But a lot of you quite like the accent, the very put on Glaswegian accent that I sometimes do in my, different very Scottish videos, etc. So this is probably an unexpectedly good accent for ASMR. So this time we're going to do a little bit more specific American accents. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do Colorado. So Colorado is somewhere that I have been regularly, and I think they've got a really, soft American accent. It's not too strong at all. It's quite a subtle accent. They tend not to pronounce, like their T's, etc. So they maybe say like mountain, water, caramel, instead of caramel, say caramel. It's that sort of softer accent over in Colorado. This is specifically more, Denver. Denver is somewhere that I go regularly, and I really enjoy my time in Denver. And I really find that, the accent is pretty straightforward to understand, pretty straightforward to, pick up. I think it's an excellent accent for ASMR. Yeah, I don't know of any creators that create from Denver, Colorado specifically, but I definitely love it a lot, and I hope you do too. Hello, hi. We're going to do more of a posh Southern English accent now. This is probably more, I don't know, like, Southern. You could be down near, I don't know, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, or, London as well. Not like a strong, typical Cockney accent. This is just your typical Southern English generalised accent that we're going to do. You will recognise a few ASMR artists that have a very similar tone. So, you've got Lucy, Creative Calm, you've got Whispers Red that use this sort of accent. Sophie is not from that area, and she has, Mancunian comes into hers a little bit, but she does have a generally quite a generalised English accent as well. So I think with that in mind, this sort of really quite pleasant accent is quite good for ASMR, and you may find that it gives you the tingles, whether it's whispers or soft spoken. I love it when it's both. It's really easy for me to listen to. Another one is Whisper Audio. She also speaks like this. And what's her face? There's another girl. She's not created videos in a while. Oh, the UK ASMR. She has more of a generalised English accent as well. So yes, this is the Southern English accent. Bonjour, je m'appelle Laurent. We speak with the Francais accent. It's you know, it's a very delicate accent. I personally love the accent for the French. It has a little bit of you know, a little rhythm, a little bit of sing-song to the accent. Most people, it's what I am doing is a very stereotypical accent for the French. I'm trying to think, why you do this? Why you do this to me? That sounds so French. I think of French as that is delicious. That is so delicious. I do not know why my voice is so high when I speak French, and the hand motions. Ooh. This may be a tingly accent for the people of the tingles. You may find this very tingly, or you may find it so annoying. I probably would find myself annoying. But why I speak Français. Français. Do you speak English? Français? Yes. I love France. Français. France. There's a lot of in the France. I love the location. Paris. Oh, Paris. So beautiful in Paris. So, yes, I will see you later. Goodbye. So we're going to go up to the Highlands now of Scotland. So up in the Highlands, they tend to be a little bit more softer. It tends to be a lot, not as, you know, rough or as bitchy the way that the Edinburgh accent is. It tends to be a lot softer because a lot of them speak they speak Gaelic, so that changes the way that they pronounce their words up there. I really like the Highland and the Island accents. I think that they're lovely. They tend to pronounce their L like la. I don't know if that's maybe part of the Gaelic accent, but it's really nice. I think it's a lot more sing-song, that softness that it's got to the sort of accent up north. I think it's very, very good for ASMR. I think it's just lovely. I think the way that they say the words are just, it's just a lovely accent. I could listen to it all day. Now, I don't know of anybody that does or has an ASMR channel with this sort of, you know, soft, gentle Island accent. So if somebody up there does, you know, create an ASMR channel, definitely let you know. But I've not come across one yet. Maybe you guys can tell me. But yes, this is sort of the accent. They use some of this accent in Outlander, as far as I'm aware, as well. But I know there's a couple of you that are from up in the Highland and Islands, who probably have a slightly different accent based on your location. But this is a sort of generalised, you know, Highland and Island softness. We're not talking up, you know, Inverness and Aberdeen are different. We're just talking more the kind of rural areas that maybe speak Gaelic. I'm going to do an accent that I've never done for you before now, and that is the Alabama Southern accent. Before, I've always tried to do a little bit more of a, you know, generalized Southern accent, but y'all don't like that. There's too many states with different Southern accents, so I'm going to separate them all out for you. The Southern American accent is, I think it's amazing for ASMR. There's a lovely lady, I think it's Southern ASMR, who does a great Southern ASMR accent. I don't know where she's from, but it sounds a little bit more like an Alabama accent. She might be from somewhere else, but I'm not so sure. I found the Southern accent quite difficult to do as a Scottish gal, but I'm hopefully going to take y'all through, you know, the different kind of accents that we have in that region. It's a bit different in Alabama to, you know, Texas or Memphis or Mississippi. I can't mind. Y'all gonna put me out on the stage to dry for that one. I can't remember if it might be Mississippi accent. We'll see. But you know, a southern accent, I really enjoy the challenge, you know, of doing it. But this is Alabama. Do you know this? Do you know this? I find that my accent tends to go a little bit north and a little bit south at the same time. It's not so great, but I'm always trying my Geordie accent. So this is the Geordie accent. So Newcastle or region, there's Durham and other regions around the Newcastle area that speak with a very similar accent. Sometimes I almost get confused a little bit with the Welsh accent because it doesn't sound too dissimilar sometimes to the Welsh accent. But the Geordie accent is a lot higher. I would say the way that they end the words and the way that they speak is very sing-song, I think, the Geordie accent. Now there's two ASMR artists that speak with it. They are not from that area. I think they've told me before. They are not from exactly Newcastle, but they are from that region of England. So they have a kind of variation of the accent that I'm currently doing for you. So they are visual sounds, and they are visual sounds, and that's it. Yes, my angel. I love watching her videos too. I watch them both very regularly because I really love their accents. I love their accents, so that's why I quite like to listen to them. My Geordie could do with a little bit of an improvement, but I wanted to fit it in today's video for you all, just so that you could hear the different accents around the UK as well. So now we're going to move on to one that I've actually not done before, and that is we're going to move to Canada. So in Canada, for those of us who are not from the States or Canada, we don't really, pick up the subtle differences between the two accents. We could hear somebody over here in the UK that is Canadian and they would sound American to us. It's really, really difficult for us to, pick the differences. But there's a couple of words that they say that are quite funny, that are a bit different. So the word is about. They don't say about the way that we would expect them to say about. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them say about. They're going to go about their day. You're going to go about your way. And I find it really difficult to do about and then continue in an Irish accent, for example. Obviously, there's a lot of variation in Canada with accents. If you go up to the East Coast, you go to, I think it's Newfoundland. They speak with a mixture of like an Irish and Canadian accent, which is really unusual. But that's because apparently a lot of Scots and Irish folk settled in that area, so they will maybe speak a little bit with, and then they'll just start a little bit more with an Irish tone. So I find that really entertaining to listen to. But I think Canadians are great, and we obviously stereotypically we think of Canadians, they're like the nicest people. So the way that they would I've seen sketches of like how they would steal. They'd be like, excuse me, may I please just steal your handbag? Thank you. Sure, no problem. There you go. So it's quite funny. They're really, really polite. But about. I apologize. I really hope that I didn't butcher that one for you. So we're going to move on to another Scottish accent today, and this is going to be the Midlothian sort of Edinburgh accent that we're going to do. So as you can tell already, the difference between this and the Glaswegian accent is it's a lot slower. It's a lot more rounded. I think it's a bit easier to understand, and if you're coming from, say, the US and you're coming to Edinburgh, which a lot of tourists go to, you probably will be able to understand the way they speak a bit better, especially in the shops, etc., than you would if you came to Glasgow. So the Midlothian accent, I think, is a great accent for ASMR just because how slow it is. You've still got some of the rolls of the R's, etc. But it just is that bit clearer and a bit slower. So I think, I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure Bright Grey ASMR is from around the Edinburgh area. So you should check her out as well if you kind of like this more slower Midlothian sort of accent. They say you can go further up north as well to Fife. I'm from Fife. They pronounce it a bit. They go longer again. The way they pronounce their words. They really pull out the words. They really exaggerate the words. I would say it's further, north of Edinburgh. But I think as well, if you kind of go round to, Stirling and that kind of area, they tend to have that sort of what you doing? They use that sort of slang. Those who are watching it from those regions would be like, what is she doing? So, this is the Edinburgh accent-ish. Each area, as we know, in Scotland has a lot. We have different dialects everywhere, so you can never quite pinpoint an area as such on this, but this is a more kind of generalised Midlothian accent that I'm doing for you today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with the Boston accent today. This is a iconic accent that is heard in lots of movies. There are famous actors that do a Boston accent, such as Mark Wahlberg in Ted 2. He is in a fight scene in one of his movies, and an example of the accent, he says, "Not you, not you, and not you." See how the O, the A, like a park, car, Boston, walk. My accent is not the best at all, but I think the Boston accent is a really great one to try and learn. So, give it a go. Hello. Do you come, ich komme aus Deutschland, so we're going to do a bit more of a German accent. If you come from Germany, you may have a bit of a harsher accent, very different from the French accent. The German tends to be a lot stronger accent. It tends to be, yes, it's more of a harsh English. The sounds are quite harsh. The way that the Germans would pronounce English, it's much more staccato rather than the French, which kind of blur the words. But yes, ich komme aus Deutschland. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend. Ich habe eine Schwester und einen Bruder. Ein Bruder. I'm not so good at the different words in front of the way that the introductory words are for like so. What I mean is I don't know if it's ein or einer or einen. I find it hard. So hard to do. But as you can tell, it's a lot more. You hear in the way that I am saying the words. The words, you could say see. Maybe that's more French. It's a lot harsher. It's a bit more. And I think some more of the Scandinavian countries would also speak a little bit harsher. It's that same sort of grouping of languages. So, yes, this is Deutsch. We're gonna go now to Mississippi with a little bit of a longer, drawn-out southern drawl. That might be a little bit too loud for y'all. But we're gonna do this little bit of a, Mississippi is quite similar to the Alabama accent. I don't know what it says. I kind of think of it as a little bit more of a redneck accent. I don't know if I've got that right, so you might need to, correct me on that one if y'all from the region. But from what I've been listening to and been hearing from the Mississippi accent, it's a bit lower. You got a little bit of a lower sound. It's not so. I think with the Alabama accent, it was a lot more with the E sound. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm talking a load of shite, but this is what I would say is more of the Mississippi accent. Apparently, it's the romantic accent that you might hear in some of those, older southern movies that we have here. But this is what I would say is another example of the southern accent. I'm just trying to learn the different regions, Do a little bit of the ASMR for you. Let's do a little bit of whispering for the southern Mississippi accent. Maybe that works better for you. For y'all. Y'all, not you. Y'all. If that works better for you, if that works better for y'all, you better let me know. So we're going to do a little bit of the southern accent now, where they speak to the front of their mouths in Southern Ireland. Sometimes I get really confused with the Northern Irish accent and the Southern Irish accent. But the Southern Irish accent is they speak a lot. I think they've got a lot more L in the way that they speak to the front of their mouths. They group a lot of words together. And I really like it. It's a very enthusiastic sort of language, so it is down in the south. I usually regularly go to Dublin, and I pick up a little bit of the accent here and there. It's different in Dublin and the north and the south of Dublin. I find that the accents change, and the same I can get into a cab at the airport, and the taxi driver on the way there will speak totally different to the way that the taxi driver on the way back will speak. So there is a very strong variety of accents that you find in Ireland. But yes, generally speaking, the Irish accent, they speak to the front of their mouths. They try, one of the phrases that I use regularly to try and get myself into the accent is the tray things. There's tray things to do today. Tray things to do today. We'll go to the park. The way they say park, see, is certain vowels, and they kind of miss out that tray instead of three. It's tray things instead of things. It's things. There are things I've got to do. And it rolls off the front of the mouth, the way that they say certain words. Anyway, I think the Irish accent is really, really great for ASMR. I think it's, because it has so much character, I think it's really great for inducing tingles, and hopefully you guys will feel the same way as what I do about the Irish accent. I think there's only one channel that I'm aware of that does the Irish accent, and that is Sweet Irish Whispers. I'm not sure if she's still active, but if she is, that you should definitely check her out. Hey, what's up? So we're just gonna do the stereotypical sort of Californian LA accent for you all. So I understand California is a really big state, so there will be quite a few varieties of this accent, but we're just gonna go for a more general southern accent. You can, change it. Sometimes I do this sort of like Valley Girl accent, like, oh, we say it over here in the UK, we would call it Valley Girl, and it's that sort of, 90210, like bitchy sort of girl accent. That's what we understand to be that accent, but I totally get that that's not what it is. So I just kind of thought we would do this sort of relaxing, generalized, I'll either call it Californian or LA accent, which I don't think is particularly strong, especially as we visited, the southern regions, which are a lot stronger. It could kind of be quite similar, more on line with Colorado. But yeah, this is what I would say the Californian accent is. A bit different to, general American accent, but not too far. It's quite nice and soft. I think it works like really, really well for ASMR. I think there's quite a few ASMR artists that have American accents, and I would say theirs don't deviate too much from this accent. Who's really great? Oh, Ryan, ASMR Ryan. He lives in that area, I think more Hollywood area. He has quite a good, accent from California, so you should listen to him. I'm always trying to think of somebody that, is an ASMR artist from that area. It's usually the easiest one to do, but yeah. So this is Californian Los Angeles. Alright, babe, what you doing? What you doing to yourself? So now we're moving over to a more of an Essex accent. This is you recognise it from the world of ASMR with the Minx Laura 123. She speaks with an Essex accent. With an Essex accent. It's not too dissimilar from the posh English accent that I will have done for you, but it is it's an accent on its own. There's a lot of famous celebs that have an Essex accent due to the only way is Essex. And a lot of them come from Essex. My favourite one is probably Gemma Collins because she is so funny. So, yeah, the Essex accent to say babe, if you're from that area, babe, with what you doing, what you saying. Minxie Laura, Frey, there's Frey things we're gonna do. So, it's the Essex accent for you. Now for the South African accent. South Africa. This accent is more of a original accent, Johannesburg. For example, it's not so strong in accent, but if you move out of the city to the rural areas of South Africa, it becomes much stronger. So we're going to do this more toned down sort of accent. So the South African accent, the just once it's not so much as the Scottish people, and a lot of the words I think come quite flat. So we say flat, we say flit. E becomes more of an E sound. I think the South African accent is quite good for ASMR for this reason, with the roll and the R's and they pronounce the vowels strong. They say, for example, water. They pronounce the T's, then they don't skip over the letters. So, yes, this is South African. Okay, that is us with our accents today. I really hope that you enjoyed this and I didn't butcher the accents too badly. Fingers crossed. But it's really good fun to make these videos. And yeah, I hope you're all tingled out and that you have a